Hi, and welcome to the first episode in developing the footstool. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to be looking at the legs. So the legs are here, and they're basically 250 high and 190mm wide, and they are 19mm thick. Now this is the piece that you're going to get, and you'll be getting two of them. So the important thing to note is the exact dimensions don't matter. What does matter is that they are all the same size. You have two pieces that are identical. So you can see here that I have two pieces that are exactly the same height, exactly the same width, and also exactly the same depth. And that's the key thing. If your pieces are different, then please see your teacher and they'll give you some strategies on how to make them the same. The first thing we're going to do is we need to mark in our cutouts that are here. Okay, and these are, you'll have a center section here that is 130mm wide. Our piece is 190mm wide. So what we could do is we could draw a line down the center and we could work out what half of 130 was and then measure that out. But the easiest method is to work out what the width is, which is 190, work out the piece that we need, which is 130, minus the 2. So 190 minus 130 is 60. Half that because we have two sections, so 60 divided by 2 is 30, and then use 30mm, measure from the side, 30mm in, and make a line, and that's what we're going to do. So to do that, what we do is we get one of these guys, and this is a marking gauge. Okay, so it's kind of like a ruler, it's kind of like a pencil, but instead of a pencil, what it actually has, if I focus that, it has a pin in the top. Okay, and so that pin acts like a pencil and it makes a mark in our timber. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler and we're going to make that, we're going to measure to the tip of the point 30. It's important that you measure twice. So I'm going to make a mark there, I'm going to tighten it, and I'm going to double check it, because this does move sometimes when you tighten it. I'm just going to loosen that again. There we go. Then what I do is I get my timber and I put it against the edge, and I make sure that I put the pin in the board and I go away from myself. I don't go towards myself, I always go away from myself. So that the pin doesn't dig in and stop, but it digs in and scratches the timber along that line. So I just want to go like that. Okay, and what you'll see, if I show you there, you can see a dent in the board. You don't need to go down all the way. You do need to go down roughly halfway or so. Okay, but you need to make sure you do that on both sides. Okay, and you only need to do that on one side of the timber. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mark out the depth of the cut, so coming down here. Okay, and that one is 70mm. So again, I can set my marking gauge to 70mm. Tighten, check. Yep, it's about 70. And then from the top, where I've marked my gauges there, I'm going to grab my marking gauge and again do the same thing. Section across to the other dent. There we go. Okay, so you can see there, I have a scratch here, there, and it stops at the dent, which is there. A bit difficult to see with the grain of the timber, but it is there, and that scratch goes all the way along to the edge of the board. There. The last thing we need to mark in is the little lip that sits here that the rails will sit on. Okay, and that lip is 19mm. It's the thickness of the rail. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark from this point here that I've just circled, that point there, the intersection of our first two lines. We're going to grab our ruler, put our ruler at the 10, because you don't measure from the corner, it might be damaged. Put our ruler from the 10, and we're going to mark out 19 mil, which means we're going to rule a line all the way to the 29 mil mark, which is there. So draw a line to there. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, bear in mind that through the magic of the camera, it doesn't look like this board is straight, but I can assure you that these lines are straight. I've checked these. So there's the little lip there. And so then the last thing we need to do is mark in the little angle of our footstool legs, and they will be from here to here. So it's not a big angle by any means, and it's basically from that lip to the corner there. And then on the other side, we'll do the same. From that lip there to the corner. There we go. And that's marking out done.